Now we're going to get into what monopolistic competition is and oligopolies. So with monopolistic competition, we don't really have monopolies really prevalent out in society, and we also don't have perfect competition. But what we do have that's pretty realistic to our society is monopolistic competition. So think about all the different kinds of cereal that we have on the shelf. This is what monopolistic competition looks like. Because guess what? All of these are cereals. Now, are they identical? No. And so basically, each one is unique to that firm. So we kind of have monopoly power in the fact that they are uniquely them. But at the same time, they are selling the same thing, which is cereal, which is kind of perfect competition. So then we created this idea of monopolistic competition. So what we have here is imperfectly competitive firms. Firms and organizations that fall between the extremes of monopoly and perfect competition. So there are many firms that sell a similar but differentiated product. Differentiated is really just the same but different. Okay? So if you were looking at the cereals, they are all the same idea, same cereal, but they're completely different in flavor, texture, all that stuff, right? So what we have in terms of the characteristics of a monopolistic competition, there are a large number of firms. If you go down the aisle of HEB or any grocery store, you're going to see all the different brands selling a similar differentiated product, right? There are a large number of firms, each with a small market share. There's not, in monopolistic competition, there's not one that just absolutely dominates the market. So each one has their own small market share. They sell a differentiated or heterogeneous product. With perfect competition, it's homogeneous, the same product, but here we have a heterogeneous, which is a different product. It's a product that consumers perceive as distinctive in some way. Could be a physical aspect. Some companies have an unbreakable item. Some have an extra spicy variation that is different from their competitor. It could be a location from which it sells. Maybe it's easier access. Maybe there's a sunset view. So we have like a restaurant that sells burgers. One is in the city, one is in the outskirts where it has a sunset view. Same idea, same burger restaurant, but differentiated in the sense that they are different, one from which the location it sells. Could be an intangible aspect. So intangible like a guarantee of satisfaction, money back guarantee. Maybe some firm doesn't have that, one firm does. This separates them, this differentiates between firms. Or it could just be a perception, such as a name brand reputation. So like if you're looking at cereal and you see the store brand and the name brand, right? Just from reputation alone, a consumer could choose the name brand one as better for them. So that's what they go with. All right. Could be if you're at a restaurant, maybe there's a friendly service, some sort of perception that a consumer is wanting. So if you were looking at the burger restaurants again, one has more friendlier service than the other. So that's why they go to that one. Another one could be just consumers' preferences as well. Whatever they prefer to do, that's what they're going to do. And so that gives them a differentiated approach from a firm's perspective. And another thing about the monopolistic competition is that they're easy entry, easy exit. An example of this could be a license fee. So it's not free entry. You need to pay a fee to get started, and then you can do that. So relatively easy to get started. It's not like Monopoly where there are high barriers to entry. Okay, like here's an example of monopolistic competition in terms of coffee shops. So they're selling the same thing. So if I were looking at this menu here, we have espressos and we have lattes and things like that. And if I were to go over to Merit Coffee, they have espresso and they have lattes. So they're selling a similar product, right? But as you can see here, they are differentiated in some way. So like with Coffee Enlightenment, they offer these coffee experiences, or they offer certain drinks that the Merit Coffee doesn't really offer. Okay, so they are differentiated in their looks, in their coffee that they offer. Some offer coffee from like Ethiopia and Guatemala and things like that, and the other one offers more house blends and coffee like that. So again, same idea, same similar product, but also differentiated in their way. And in fact, going back to perfect competition, where we're selling the same identical thing, so we need the same price. As you can see here, we don't really have that. Okay, like a latte is $4.99 with coffee enlightenment, and then over here we have a latte at $5.25 or $6.25. We're going to talk about the difference of why they're different, but again, it could be some sort of perception that is happening or some higher cost that is causing the higher price. So that is what monopolistic competition is, and this is how they're different from the other two market structures that we talked about. For perfect competition, they are perfectly elastic at this price. Monopolistic, because they're only one firm, they're more inelastic. So once we start adding more substitutes, right, this is becoming more elastic. So we still have the law of demand, right? So higher prices, lower quantity, lower prices, higher quantity, we're still going to have that because they are not identical. You can have a different demand curve per firm, okay? So what we'll talk about next is what the actual graph will look like for monopolistic competition, all right?